your committee has been tainted.
No, ma'am. What I want our committee to start doing is working, which is interviewing witnesses and accessing documents. And all of this politics, I'm sure, is interesting to the viewer. But if you want to find out those 4 tranches, those investigative tranches with respect to Russia, we need to start interviewing witnesses and accessing documents and let the politics kind of go away.
Isn't that the problem right there? I mean, as you've just spelled it out. Because of everything that's going on with Chairman Nunes, everything has been stalled this week. In fact, one of your Democratic colleagues, Jim Himes, says that you're in deep freeze mode. Doesn't that tell you that he needs to recuse himself?
Well, I'm smiling because I don't know when Congress not doing something for a week was deep freeze mode. That's not unusual up here, that we would have a week where we didn't have a whole lot to show for it.
But you were scheduled. Hold on one second, Congressman. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you were scheduled to do interviews and to hold hearings. Sally Yates was supposed to appear, Jim Comey. But that, for whatever reason, Chairman Nunes indefinitely postponed it or canceled it. So what's going on?
Well, I think that for whatever reason, it's really important. You saw the hearing last Monday where almost 100 times the 2 witnesses said, I cannot answer in this forum. So why you would go back to a forum where the seminal witnesses can't answer the question is befuddling to me. I want to talk to Sally Yates. Sally Yates is an important fact witness. We're going to talk to Sally Yates. The fact that we didn't do it this Tuesday doesn't mean we're not going to do it next Tuesday.
But why didn't you do it this Tuesday?
We're about a week behind. We're about a week behind. But if we start next week, we can catch up.
I hear you, but you could have done it in a closed meeting. Why not do it this week?
I think it's important that we talk to Comey and Rogers again first. They really are, Allison, the 2 most important witnesses, at least with 3 of the 4 tranches. And when you answer 100 times, I can tell you, but I can't tell you in this forum, then why would you not bring back the 2 seminal witnesses to say, okay, we're in a different forum. Answer those almost 100 questions, and then we'll move to Clapper, and then we'll move to Brennan, and then we'll move to Ms. Yates.
Okay.
That is the natural chronology, and that's what I hope we do.
You make a great point. Why didn't it happen this week in a closed forum? It was scheduled, and then it was canceled.
Well, you mean Rogers and Comey. I think it's really important that we talk to them again. I'm not to their calendars. They came last Monday. Perhaps they could not come this week, but it is, in my judgment, indispensable that we talk to the 2 seminal witnesses again, see what questions they can ask. That's then going to lead to different questions for Ms. Yates and Brennan and Clapper. So there's always a natural chronology in an investigation. I like to go chronologically. I like to start with the seminal witnesses, and then they can identify other witnesses. I don't know what Director Comey and Admiral Rogers scheduled. They're 2 really important, busy guys. The fact that they could not come back-to-back weeks before Congress and spend 6 hours before us does not surprise me. But I expect them to come, and I expect them to come quickly.
And so Congressman, if Chairman Nunes shared sensitive information with the very source of the investigation, meaning the president and the White House, doesn't that compromise him?
Well, you're making an assumption that I don't make. Actually,
what do
you're making
you think
2
he
that
should? Well, I mean,
make.
look, let me be clear. We know he went to the White House and told the president something. And
right, and we have no idea it has anything to do with Russia. In fact, Devin has said it had absolutely nothing to do with Russia. So if the new rule is that the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee cannot share information with the commander-in-chief, we're in a whole new world, Allison. If that's the new rule, Devin says it had nothing to do with Russia. I have no reason to doubt him. So if it's got nothing to do with Russia, then no, the White House is not the target of the investigation.
Mm-hmm. Have you asked Chairman Nunes what he was doing, why he did this?
I have, and he reminded me of what I did in a former life, where I relied on sources. I had a federal witness killed that I relied on, and I'm not over-dramatizing this, but you do protect your sources. You do it in your line of work. Devin has to do it. They're blowers. There are other people who have relevant, authentic, credible information, and they want to share it. You protect your sources. Devin is protecting his. He's protecting it so much he's not even telling us who it is. But I would say this, Allison, shouldn't we be more interested in the authenticity and the reliability of the underlying information, whether it's the gardener or the cook or someone else? is secondarily important. The authenticity and reliability is what's most important to me of the underlying information.
Well, sure. And so what is I mean, that's what you're trying to get to the bottom of, right? Is what are the connections? Are there these ties between the Trump campaign, the Trump team, and Russia? So how are you getting to the bottom of that?
Two separate lines of inquiry. What Devin went to the White House about has nothing to do with Russia. So put that in a separate track. I was ready yesterday to start interviewing witnesses, all of them. I want to sit down with Adam Schiff and say, Adam, give me your list of witnesses. Let's do it together. Let's interview them together. We're both former federal prosecutors. Let's find the facts and the truth together. Give me your witness list. I'll give you mine. Let's start doing it in the forum that is most conducive with gathering the most amount of information. But, Allison, the trip to the White House that Devin took had nothing to do with Russia. So let's don't conflate the trip with the investigation.
Congressman Trey Gowdy, we appreciate your insight and you being here with all that information. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Of South Carolina joins us now. Congressman, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So I don't really know what the purpose of all these statements from members of the committee are on both sides. I'm paying close attention. I'm totally confused. So can you just give us a quick summation of what we know for certain about spying on American citizens, including the Trump campaign?
Well, what we know is that if there's an evidentiary basis for the president's tweet, it has not been shared with the public. So we'll get